Hey guys, welcome back to Cook Like Sasha. Today I'm gonna show you how to make totally delicious and super moist tres leches cake. So tres leches cake or three milks cake is actually a Latin American cake that was originated in Mexico that is made using three different kinds of milk. If you wanna see how I make it, keep watching. I'm starting out by preparing my dry ingredients. I'm adding to a sift 3/4 cups of flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, half teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to add everything to the sift and ensure that I sift it out. By the way, I am using cake flour, which is softer, fluffier, and lighter for baking, but of course you can use all-purpose flour. So I'm gonna sift everything and just set it aside. Next, I'm going to separate my egg whites from my egg yolks. So that's why I have two containers, one for the whites and one for the yolks. Here are my egg whites, and those white spots or blobs that you're seeing, they're called calaza. It's normal for you to see those in eggs. It's actually a sign that the eggs are fresh. But for me personally, I like to remove them. So I'm just going in with a spoon and I'm removing them one by one. So to my 4 egg yolks, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, and I'm going to beat that with my whisk until the color is a nice light yellow color. So we're looking for a pale yellow color. Once the mixture has become a nice light pale yellow, I'm going to add a little bit of flavor. So I'm adding about a teaspoon of vanilla as well as a teaspoon of grated lime rind. The lime rind is to cut the rawness of the eggs. I promise you, you won't taste it in the final cake, but for me, this is an essential step. So just mix everything together and then set your egg yolks to the side while we start working on the egg whites. Here I'm using a hand whisk. You can totally use the mixer for this one because this is quite an arm workout. So you're gonna use your whisk and whisk the egg whites together while gradually adding a tablespoon of white granulated sugar. And you're going to do this vigorously until the egg whites become very light, very sturdy and firm, almost like whipped cream, and it's going to have stiff peaks. Like I said, guys, this is quite an arm workout, so of course I had to get my husband to come and help me to just whip up these egg whites. I'm adding 3 tablespoons of full cream 100% cow's milk to my egg yolks, and I'm going to set that aside. The brand that I'm using today is Serge Island Dairy's brand of milk. This is full cream 100% pure cow's milk, grade A, and it's so fresh, so good every time. Now that we've prepared all our ingredients, it's time to put everything together to make this delicious tres leches cake. So I'm adding my egg yolk mixture to my dry ingredients, and I'm going to use my spatula to gently fold and incorporate everything together, ensuring that there are no lumps. Once the mixture is nice and smooth, it's time to add the egg whites, and we're not going to add it all at once. Do you see how firm and thick that is? That's how it's supposed to look. So you're going to take your spatula and just fold it into the batter, ensuring that you don't have too many big lumps. Here I'm adding the remainder of the egg whites and I'm going to fold it into the batter. Please ensure that you don't mix it. You should be cutting and folding. So cut the egg whites and fold it into the batter. Do that until you get it as smooth as you can. It's okay if you have a few small lumps, but you shouldn't have any big lumps of egg whites. Here I'm using some soft butter to grease my cake tin very well. Then I'm going to add my cake batter. I have preheated the oven to 170 degrees Celsius and I'm going to let the cake bake for about 25 to 30 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. While the cake is baking, let's work on the tres leches or the 3 milks mix. I'm adding a cup and a half of Surge pure cow's milk. Then I'm adding about a half tin of the Surge evaporated milk and about 3/4 of the Surge sweetened condensed milk. So yes, here I'm using 3 different kinds of milk and they all come from Surge Island Dairies. And no, the video is not sponsored by Surge, but I genuinely like their products, so I'm using them up to create this delicious tres leches cake. This video was also created as a entry for a competition that Surge had called Surge Approved Chef, and guess what, guys? I was a winner. Yes! Check it out on Instagram if you want to see more. But yeah, let's get back to baking. Remember to like, comment, share and subscribe, and remember to click that bell icon so you'll never miss another video. So once your tres leches mix is well combined, you're going to add a tablespoon of vanilla and a teaspoon of almond spice. Guys, just look how beautiful my cake is. Beautifully browned on the sides and just soft, spongy and bouncy. Here I'm using a knife to just poke a few holes on top, and this is going to help the milk mixture or your tres leches milk mixture to just soak into the cake. And this is where the cake got its name, tres leches cake. So what you're going to do is to take your tres leches milk mixture and literally soak your cake with it. Just pour it onto the cake and just watch the cake suck it up. So you're going to pour on as much as you like or as little as you like. I decided not to go all the way, but I used about 2.5 cups on my cake. Now it's time to work on the cake topping. I'm adding 3 cups of Anchor heavy whipping cream to a container. This whipping cream is very cold. I put it in the freezer for a few minutes. Just let it kind of get really cold, because the colder it is, the better it is. I'm going to use my hand mix to beat the whipping cream on medium to high speed. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be gradually adding about a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and I'm also adding a 1/4 teaspoon of almond spice just to give it that extra flavor. And I'm going to continue until the whipping cream becomes very thick and firm. So this is my favorite part, adding the whipped cream on top of the cake. Do you see how thick and firm that is? And it is so delicious. It is not sweet, it just has a nice, cool and refreshing taste. And the almond spice is very nice. So I'm just adding the whipped cream on top of the cake, and I'm going to spread it all out, and I'm adding a very thick layer on top. I'm smoothing everything out with my spatula and making a nice little random design on top. Next, I'm going to add my toppings. Traditionally, strawberries are used, but I didn't have any, so I'm using some blueberries. So I'm just placing them in a little pattern that I didn't plan to do, but yeah, of course. This cake was definitely new for me. It's very unusual. I've never seen anything like this before, but I really had a lot of fun making this cake, and trust me, it was totally worth it because it is extremely delicious, I'm telling you, and unlike anything that I've ever tasted before, and I'll definitely be making it again. The slice came out perfectly. It was so moist, tender, delicious, and then the milk was just infused in every bite. It's definitely a winner. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Cook Like Sasha. Bye, guys.